Cheers, everybody. Uh, I've just let my dog do his thing for a minute, and we'll let you guys join in and have a little bit of fun. Just I want to let you know ahead of time, first and foremost. I do not. Well, I'm really terrible at noticing the chat thing, but definitely keep doing that. Put the things in there. I've actually talked to Heather already, who is going to be our guest tonight. And yeah, she is going to be taking a look at those, ask questions, do that kind of stuff, really interact with us. And I will absolutely do my damnedest to notice them and definitely just keep doing those things. So in just a minute, I want to let you know of a couple of things first. But in just a minute, we're going to have Heather on, who is the owner of um, Pour Off-Road Coffee, and she's making just a thing of it. It is so cool, the community that she's bringing together, with all of the things that she's got going on. So we're gonna ask her questions about her Jeep and off-roading and, being an entrepreneur, in the off-road industry and what that's like, as well as being a female in this space too, which is, um I don't even know how to explain it really. It's just it's the industry is so flooded with different personalities and all kinds of things. And I'm really curious to get her thoughts on that side of things. But as you guys keep joining, just hang with us for 1 second. I'm gonna add her in, and we will go for there. So I see Ashley Long coming in. I'm like I said, I'm doing my damnedest to notice the comment. So Ashley Long from Arizona, hi there. And then obviously old man, I love you, man. Thanks for showing up for this kind of stuff. And that is my dog. That is Ragnar, making a racket. So we'll see what's going on with that. So let me see if I can get Heather involved in this real quick. So I'm just going to bring her in right now, and we'll go from there. Hey, it
What's
works.
going on?
So much, so much. My dog is barking at the wind right now. But
Oh,
other than that, we're doing quite well. How are you?
I'm good. I have 2 dogs with me right now because the honey is out of town, and I have his 7-month-old, like, Wagamire, what Wag I can never say it. She's crazy, so my son is watching them both. Like, I've got a great white
Oh,
Pyrenees and a 7-month-old puppy.
oh my goodness gracious. No, I have
Yes.
a 70-pound plot hound, and he is absolutely just he smells so much because they were bred to hunt bears, and like it's just if gets a whiff of like a deer or a bear or something like that, which we have a lot around where I live,
Yeah.
um he just goes nuts. So yeah, he's inside now, so he's all good. But hi and welcome.
Hey! Now that the dogs are situated, now it's our turn.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, a lot of people are curious from the posts and things that I've put out there. This whole live thing is really just to talk to people that are in the community, in the off-road community, doing completely different things. Because just because we all have this one thing in common doesn't mean that we're all the same. I've invited different people from different walks of life. You were in Texas, yes, and
Yes.
you have got this whole thing going on with the coffee thing and everything else. So I just want you to introduce yourself in the way that you would want to introduce yourself, because I don't want to do you any injustice whatsoever.
Oh, you're so cool. Listen, I'm just a normal person like everybody else. But
Here, here.
right, here I am, which I'm so excited, by the way. So this is my first ever YouTube. So you are like my debut.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry first and foremost, like, but also congratulations because,
It-
I'm like you said, I'm just a real dude doing like sort of epic stuff for me, like, but
yeah.
I'm not a millionaire. I'm not spending every dime that I have going off and doing these things. I just love off-roading and getting out into nature. So, thank you for being here, and I just want to get the word out as in whatever fashion that I can about all the things that you've got going on.
No, I so appreciate it, and I think it's super cool, and to that, a nod to that, I feel like the industry does need some more normal people,
No,
which
for
is
sure.
cool,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's just social media in general, but I think it's super cool what you're doing because it's showing other people, like, normal is okay, right?
Yeah,
Like, we
yeah, yeah,
don't
yeah,
have to,
exactly.
like, take out a second mortgage on our rigs to be cool, which
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
a message in itself, so what you're doing is super sweet, super cool.
Well, I appreciate that and welcome. So, but yeah, definitely introduce yourself. Tell people what you got going on.
So, my name is Heather. I have two pages, right? I have DB Saw, which is my personal page. So if you want to go laugh, viewer discretion advised, of course. But if you want to go have some fun, you go over to that page. And then on the coffee page, we have fun there too. It's just different kind. There's still some sass there too. But so we got DB Saw, and we've got Pour Off Road. Sass like oozes out of me. I can't help it, no matter where I'm at. So um,
Me too.
that's right? I mean, what else would we be doing? I mean, come on. But so
We're
yeah,
real
so
people.
what's that?
We're real people.
Real people. Exactly. What are you sipping on over there? Got something good?
Oh, I've got some Woodford, and that's about it. Just a big
Oh,
tall
okay.
glass of Woodford.
You know. Hey, I'm the poor lady. I gotta know. What are you sipping on?
No, 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 no. Whiskey is my go-to in the PM, and in the AM. Granted, I'm going to let everybody know right now. Uh, Heather and I had a conversation probably 6 months ago. We were talking about working together, like through the pour over coffee kind of stuff, and I'm like, I do not drink coffee. But my wife does, and she is very particular about the types of coffee and what she does, and she's like a chemist when it comes to making her coffee in the morning. Uh, so, uh, trying to discover all of those different things. I'm a monster drinker, which is absolutely terrible for you, but also so effing delicious. So, like, I can't wean myself away from that. But there have been times where I have actually ventured into the coffee realm of things, and um, being in that particular industry with the business that you own, being seasonal too, you're gonna find that like people might actually taste something that they've put off coffee or they put off this thing for so long, and then they taste something and you're like, well, I actually do like this. Like this isn't bad at all, and it's actually pretty decent for you with all the antioxidants and all that, kind of stuff. It's way better than energy drinks. So, you know, that's all I gotta say about coffee.
So it's actually funny you say that because right, like I'm slowly becoming known as the coffee lady, but before I had my coffee, I really honestly didn't like coffee very much. And the reason was because it was bitter. It just really wasn't good. And maybe I had never really bought like super high quality. I'm a very basic girl, right? I live out in the country. I live in Texas. I'm very that way. And so maybe I just never had really good coffee. But so when I started drinking my coffee, I was like, "Oh, coffee's not disgusting." Like, wow, that's amazing.
Well,
um, yeah, so it's
well,
definitely been an adventure, but some people I learn just as much from like the customers as I think like we exchange information because some people they're like chemists, like they have got a system and a way,
yeah.
and it's really cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, people are way into it, and, for those who don't know, like, I live in Nashville, North Carolina. It's like craft beer capital of the United States.
Yeah.
Um, but having said that, the coffee roasters and stuff like that, I kinda think that, like, places like Seattle and, just Washington, Oregon, places like that, and places like I live right now, here in Nashville, they take their coffee seriously. They take their drinks, their cocktails, everything super seriously. And I don't wanna say that if I would drink coffee, it'd be like a fixed gear bike version of it, right? Like, I don't wanna go that hipster route, but a lot of people really, really, really get into it, and, I mean, we're roasting these for an hour and 37 minutes exactly at this particular temperature. We're gonna take those out, we're gonna rest them for 5 hours, but look, I get it. I totally get it because the only time that I've used coffee in anything in the last 3 years has been making some like coffee chocolate bacon, right? So I
Okay.
love barbecue. I'm a barbecue boss. Like I fucking love it. So
Yeah.
pardon my French. I just get passionate about food.
I speak
But
French, so we're
so
cool.
so when it comes to that, you put a coffee chili rub on some bacon, and it is delicious. Same thing with steaks and doing all that kind of stuff, fine ground, and then you take blends on that. It is a recipe. I understand how people can do or get passionate about a very particular thing, even though I'm not into it. Like I understand it,
Oh, definitely. It's an
but
art, right?
it,
Just like cooking is an art, craft beer is an art, coffee is an art, and it's super cool. Like I love talking to people about whatever their passion is because you can see like when you start talking about barbecue, like boom, right? Like
oh,
super excited.
oh yeah, I've got the live fire behind me. I've got my smokers over here. Like I mean, it's just like this is where I live out on my back porch. Uh, I really don't like cooking inside anymore, but like it is a big thing for me to do that. So I understand. But tell me how did you get into coffee? Like not being a coffee person initially, you brushed on that. So you're like when you started drinking your coffee, it became a thing. Like how'd that happen?
Yeah. So here's my thing. Everything I do, I kind of have this little tagline, slogan, whatever you want to say, mantra.
Mhm.
But my thing is, I I guess it goes back to my story, right? So for those that don't know, I'm retired Navy. I spent a year in the Wounded Warrior Care Unit. I spent almost 3 years in an electric wheelchair from being injured in service, and I
Oof.
learned a lot about myself during that
Mhm.
time. And I had time to like do some soul searching and all of that. And it really made me like wonder like, what's my purpose here? What am I
Mhm.
doing? You know, because at that point my whole life had shifted. I had went from being a personal trainer prior to the Navy, so like
Right.
running and working out, and then being a firefighter and a welder, and then boom, like I can't sit up on my own, I can't walk, I can't do anything that I used to do. Now what? Like what's my life purpose, right? And so I spent a lot of time thinking about that, and I realized that I'm really passionate about building freedom for
Mhm.
people, right? Like let's whatever that definition is, right? And for
Sure.
me, off-road industry is all about that, right? Like feeling a
Mhm.
little bit of freedom, super cool. And then on the flip side of all the inspiration, there's the soul soothing part, right? Like we've all been through a
Right.
thing or two. And so the off-road industry kind of offers that. What other industry? Like the sipping industry. How many times have we been around a campfire and you just feel like there's a feeling there, right? Like you get some people around
Absolutely.
a camp, right? And so that's kind of where the combination came from. I'm like, what vehicle can I use to bring people together to help with this whole building freedom, soothing souls? And something sippable seemed perfect. And so I got into
Mhm.
the coffee, and now we've got the tea, the hot chocolate. And in 2024, we will have the adult pours um, launching, which
I'm
is
down
very
with
cool.
I'm down with that. Sorry,
Uh huh.
you kind of piqued me there, so that's good. Like that is
Yeah. So
definitely good.
it's very exciting. And so, and actually, another topic, which is funny that you brought up barbecue. We called it pour off road for a reason. And so when we pour our spices, that line will be coming out. It's actually been in the works. We're just trying to tweak our little rubs and stuff to
Dude,
do
that is
that too.
super rad. That is super rad. My buddies
Super.
and I were actually talking about this whole thing like probably 3 years ago. I'm very interested in like obviously I've got the Adventurous Jeep channel and all that other kind of stuff that's going on. But I thought it would be really, really, really fun to do an overland video where we haul a smoker through a trail,
Yes.
right? So we just take this big like offset smoker, which is stupid dangerous, right? So so we
Let's
got to
do
be
it.
really
I'm in.
careful. We could do the whole thing for like, we just take a really long trail like the Georgia Traverse. It's like 300 miles or something. And we go like 10 miles an hour, pissing everybody off along the way. But at the end, if they follow us, we give them free barbecue and we just have a really great time around a campfire. And that would be an amazing adventure. It would be so much fun with friends. Who knows what the recipe would turn out, like how it would turn out, because briskets don't really do well off camber as far as I'm concerned. But then we just get to camp for the night and we have an amazing time. sipping on stuff, making good food, and hanging out and having a great time doing that kind of stuff. It's just been a dream. It seems like more of a comic book than a reality, but it just seems like a really fun thing to do. Um, but I think you're definitely onto something there, and something that not a lot of people understand or know about me is I actually work in the mobility and accessibility industry, and I have for the last
Huh.
11 years. And so what I'm trying to do with my channel is to give back to the veteran side of things. But given my passion for the mobility and accessibility industry, like that is my focus. So the organization that I want to work with is going to be helping veterans kind of reacclimate themselves either through injury or through physical or mental injury from being overseas or being deployed, coming back and kind of reacclimating into society, and that is really important to me. I'm not going to tell anybody who it is until like we actually do something about it here, because I hate emptiness. I hate empty words. I want to make an impact, and in order to make an impact, I want to do that with people who are united with me in that passion, versus just people jumping on board because of a name or whatever else, right? So I really want to do that. If I do that with 5 people, 10 people, or 1,000 people, honestly, it doesn't matter. But the impact is what is important. So as you have gone through your experiences, and by the way, I think it's quite serendipitous in a way that we are talking on December 7th, given the fact that you are a US Navy veteran. Uh, so I do want to bring that up for a moment on Pearl Harbor Day, um, and kind of memorializing that event, which brought us into the war and changed so many lives and impacted our society so much. So when people say things like "Thank you for your service" or whatever, I want to tell you something that uh, I've only said once in my life, I think, and it was oddly around a campfire. Um, I think that when people choose to serve in the U.S. military, it is the closest thing to Christ that you can be. I'm
Hmm.
not a religious person. I will just let people know that right now. But conceptually, you are putting your life, yourself on the line for others, expecting, or at least expecting the possibility of death, injury, persecution, and then coming back, not really understanding what's going on. You're fighting persecution here as well at the same time, but you accept all of that for someone else, everybody else, to have their freedom. And that is something that I hold in extreme respect and extreme high regard. So when I say thank you for your service, it's not a passing "what's up." It is an honest, straight up thank you for potentially putting yourself on the line. And your career, from the conversations that we had, like you were a welder, you were a firefighter, so you were putting yourself on the line for other people that were putting themselves on the line. So like that's just compounded. So a profound thank you in your direction.
Well, I appreciate that's a big statement, and I really appreciate it, and I don't say that lightly, especially these days. Whatever side of whatever you're on, the thank you for your service, especially now, is definitely it's humbling and honestly, I to people that genuinely mean it, my response is because when you first get in and people are thank you, you're in your uniform. And sometimes it's just a passing by and sometimes it's genuine and you don't know
Hmm.
what to say, you know? And
Right.
so we would ask each other, like, what do you say? Like, you're welcome. That sounds kind of gross. Like, I don't know, like what do you say? And over the years, like my developed response has been like, thank you for being someone worth serving for. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Because
awesome.
yeah, I mean, because it takes a moment out of your day that you didn't have to. You didn't have to say thank you to me. You know, you didn't
Hmm.
have to recognize it. You didn't have to give a minute to it, but you did, right? And
Yeah.
so I think that's just as important because none of us can do what we do without people supporting us doing it, you know?
Oh,
So
for
thank
sure.
you.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So let's pivot for a moment, but also keeping with the theme. patriotism and, kind of giving back. My whole channel, my whole thing is Jeeps and off-road life, and I know that you have one. You have a Jeep. You are a Jeeper. You've entered into this world.
Mhm.
Um, so talk about your build and talk about like your wheeling and like what you like to do when you're not packing up coffee orders.
Yeah, so, cool thing, when I was we'll intertwine our topics. So, when I was in the hospital, I actually had this Jeep I have now is my 4th. I had a
Hmm.
different Jeep when I landed myself in the hospital,
Right.
and I loved off-roading from the second that I was 16. I went in my uncle's yellow Jeep. I don't even remember what kind it was at the time. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. I got to Baja down to the beach. I was like, "I'm the coolest farm
That's
girl in the
nice.
world," right? And that's where I fell in love with it. And then I had one when I got hurt and I couldn't drive and I couldn't really even walk around. And some of my friends actually busted me out of the hospital, threw me in the passenger seat, and took me off roading. And
It's a
it
good
was
friends.
amazing. And it was really then where I felt like, wow, like this is soul soothing. Like this was therapeutic. It was
Hmm.
unspoken camaraderie with my friends. It was fun. I could still kind of be a badass, like it was like I felt empowered again. Like I can still be cool. Like I can still do cool things, besides sit in my wheelchair all day. And so it
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
this moment. And so now here I have an O2 TJ. I love it. It is my favorite Jeep, and I've had four doors. I mean, I've had them all except for I think a CJ and a YJ, like
Right.
the older ones. But I've had everything else, and this is my favorite. I love it. I love to go off roading. I love to go rock crawling. So right now, it's pretty basic. It's on a 2-inch lift. It's got 33s. It's nothing crazy. The wrap is really cool. We started with that just because I had to make a statement. I'm kind of
Oh,
like
and
that.
you definitely did. For those that don't know, she has a full-on "We the People" rap, like, on her
Yeah.
vehicle. It is full-on patriotism on 4 wheels, like, that is what this vehicle looks like. So, if you don't know what it looks like, make sure to check out DVSoft, and take a look at those, the images that she has there of her Jeep and everything else, but, yeah, basic doesn't mean basic in this regard.
No, and it was fun, right? And I took some time because it's my daily, right? And so
Mhm,
I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, and I wanted to be sure before I started doing all of the things. And so now I know for sure that it'll turn into a rock crawler, and so that's what
mhm,
it'll be, and I'll get a different daily, and that's great. So there's
right.
plans for it. We'll get some bigger tires. We'll do the lift. We'll do all of the things. But for right now, I love it, and quite frankly, I think when it comes to builds, I love, and respect the builds, right? But you also have to have a driver that can support it, right? And so
Oh, sure.
there's been times where I've been out wheeling with people that are on 40s or 42s and they've got a big built up rig or a new driver will get in this rig expecting the rig to do the work. And there's been times
Yeah.
where I've been able to get through things that somebody on 40s hasn't just because
Mhm.
they don't know how, right? And that's there's nothing wrong with that, but I think to our nod from the beginning, it's okay to work your way up, and you can still go out and still be a badass and still have a lot of fun,
Oh, for
even on a
sure.
basic build.
Yeah, I recommend that people like I didn't follow my own advice, but you only come to the knowledge of being able to give somewhat of reasonable advice, I should say, um, by experience or through experience.
Mhm.
And I had a Jeep for a while. First, it was a 2007. It was not a great Jeep. It was what I call baby shit green, but the true was rescue green, and its name was Olive. I did absolutely nothing with this Jeep except for drive it to work back and forth in Orlando. So first off, I'm in like the most flat area of the country, and then the biggest adventure it went on was going through a toll booth, right? So it made no sense. So that Jeep went away, and I ended up getting a hatchback to save money, and, I got a little Mazda Speed 3, and I love that car. It was so much fun, a little zippy, but I traded in the Jeep, I bought the Mazda 3, I drove it for probably 20 minutes down the road, instantly regretted it. But went home and I was like, this feeling is gonna change. I'm gonna save money. I'm not spending the money on gas because it was a 3.8 liter, like full on gas guzzler. And like I said, I had tolls. So I was spending $10 a day, well, $20 a day each way. Uh 10 there, 10 back from work every day.
Mhm.
And then I was getting like 14 miles per gallon. Like it just did not make any kind of sense whatsoever. So that sucked. But then about 3 days later, I went back to the dealership to say, like, "Never mind, I want my Jeep back." And they had already sold it. Like,
No!
it was gone. So then I was stuck
Ah,
with this thing, the car that I didn't wanna be in, anymore because I missed the Jeep. But then I used that as a learning experience. I took the savings from the gas and the tolls, and I put it in a savings account, and I did that for years and years and years to finally get my Jeep. Um, and before I didn't really wheel, but the only advice that I can give right now is that I tell people drive your Jeep stock. If you get a Jeep, drive it absolutely stock. Take it on everything that you can possibly take it on. Forest Service roads, take it a little bit rock crawling, whatever you're comfortable with to gain experience and figure out what it is that you like. Because if you don't, you're going to join a Jeep club and they're going to be like, yeah, you need a 4-inch lift and 40s and 60/80 combination and fucking V8 swap it and all this other kind of stuff. And you're just going to spend all your money for nothing. Um,
yes.
but it doesn't matter. Like one of the best wheeling Jeeps that I've ever seen is one of my buddy's Jeeps. And it's an LJ 2005 V6, straight six, the 4 liter. And that thing is just, well, I mean, I own one for a short period of time, but that vehicle is the best wheeling vehicle, the best wheelbase, the best, like everything that I could imagine. It was absolutely crap to drive on the highway, but you put it in the rocks where it's meant to be, and
Mhm.
it was amazing, like absolutely amazing. So drive it stock, build it to what you want to build it. Don't buy budget flat out. Just do not buy budget. Save your money, be patient, and build to what you like to do. If that's camping or overlanding or whatever else. And first and foremost, to the overlanding people that might be watching this, all 10 people or whatever, I will tell you this right now. Oh, there's 12. Cool. Hey
We're
guys.
killing it.
Yeah, killing it, killing it. You know what? It is the most live people at the same time yet so far, so kudos. That has
We
nothing to do
nailed
with
it.
me, everything to do with you. So, I will say for the overlanding people out there, just go camping. Just go camping. You do not have to have every accessory known to man except for possibly a coffee grinder because you bought some stuff from pouroffroad. That's all I've gotta say.
So it's super funny because my honey is an overlander, and so my TJ is actually at his house right now because he's on a trip,
Yeah.
conference, and so we switched vehicles because I have both dogs, both kids, and so the TJ is just not cutting it, and so I've
Yeah, yeah.
actually got his rig, which is an overlanding rig, and so it's yeah, it's super great.
No, if they're comfortable, they're comfortable, and in all honesty, I bought a four-door truck to put a rooftop tent on the back so that my wife would come camp with me and comfort. I've got the diesel heater. I've got like all of this stuff, you know. I'm just like that is not me. I am sleeping on a plywood platform in the back of my Jeep when I go camping or in a hammock or something super simple. Um, and I've got beef jerky and cheese sandwiches and all of the basics just so I can go out and have a really good time with my buddies and just have a good time out there on the rocks or the mud or wherever the heck we are. But anyway, I don't want to. There's no segue to this. I want you to tell me this. I think people have 1 day left for your Christmas stuff, or is it done?
3.
Or
The
3 days
Yeah, they've
left?
got
Okay.
3. So until Sunday, the 10th, we're taking guaranteed by Christmas. Of course, you can order after that for yourself. You can order after that and pray, that it gets to you by Christmas. But I didn't want anybody to be disappointed, so the 10th is the cutoff, for coffee orders, and that's everything, coffee bags, boxes, hot cocoa bombs, anything that you need by Christmas. Sunday's the cutoff. Um, so make sure you get over there. And if you have questions, by all means, just contact me through the website or send a message to the Pour Off Road page. If you send one to my personal page right now because of the holiday rush, that you cross your fingers. Go to the
Yeah,
Pour Off
not
Road
gonna notice that.
page.
Not gonna notice that at all. But
Yeah.
hey, back up for a second. Where's the website? Where do people go? Like,
Oh,
what you got going on?
yeah, pouroffroad.com. Okay, so www.pouroffroad.com, or our Instagram is Pour Off Road Coffee. Of course, we have more than that. Like I mentioned, we've got all of our coffee, whole beans ground, K cups, flavored, non-flavored, organic, single origin, all the chemist kind, and then some. So we've got all the coffee. We have tea. We've got hot cocoa. We have caffeinated hot cocoa, coffee cookies, freeze dried marshmallows. I mean, y'all, like we are like moving and shaking on products. And if we don't have something, just send me a message. Like I'm happy to see if I can figure it out. That's
Yeah,
how some of these products have come to be in the first place. So
man, I cannot tell you how much I'm looking forward to the potential barbecue rubs and that stuff coming out. I will try that. My dog is back. Cool.
mine too.
Yeah, so that's what's going on, and I just want to pay attention to the comments real quick. I had a couple of people here. Jeep
Yes.
talks what it's like to be an overlander. You need to drive somewhere off road and take a sandwich, and I'm like, that is true. I don't
True.
know where Scottles fit into that, but they're in there somewhere for sure. And yes, Ashley, thank you so much. We got up to 13, so
13. Let's
that's
go. Everybody hit
that's
that
that's
share button.
that's funny right there. And then 1870 Off Road says that Jersey on the camping trips are the best. They swung by Bucky's on my last trip and reheated some brisket.
Oh.
I am uh, okay. Yes and no. Uh, yes and no. Go to Texas, have some brisket. Right? Don't talk to me about Bucky's brisket. I'm sorry. And then like yes, it's cool that you can buy a piece of art and also a cooler in the same place, but good lord. Like don't I mean it's brisket. It's brisket, but it ain't brisket.
Is it though? Is it though?
But that's it. I mean, I'm a bit of a snob in that regard, so that is fine. I own it, and I'm okay with that.
Oh, yeah.
So
No, so we were so blessed, right down the road, like 20 minutes. He doesn't live here anymore, but, uh, Jake Gonfaldo, I always say his last name wrong, but he was on
yeah,
MasterChef, and he opened
yeah.
up a barbecue place 20 minutes from my house. Oh, spoiled. And then he sold it, like, this last spring to move to Idaho and retire. So
Well,
now
I
I'm back
mean,
on the brisket
y-
surge.
you gotta have some mountains in your life, I guess. I mean that's cool, and I've heard that like Idaho is really great for overlanding. No, no, it's got some really, really, really
What's
amazing
going
views.
on in Idaho? We don't
No,
know.
I don't know, potatoes, but other than that, we're good. But no, kind of back to this whole thing, like Ashley is saying, I agree, better brisket than Bucky's. I follow Meat Church. I don't know if you know about them. They're in Waxahachie, Texas. Uh, they have
Oh.
all kinds of crazy stuff, and Matt Pittman, he does all kinds of really crazy stuff and interviews people on the Texas 50 or Texas Monthly, uh, top 50 barbecue restaurants in all of Texas. And he did a tour and all this other kind of stuff. I watched his channel. His recipes are phenomenal. So when I say that I'm obsessed with barbecue, it is absolutely no joke. There's Bradley Robinson with Chud's Barbecue. He's got his whole thing going on. He's outside of Austin. So it is like it is ridiculous, my obsession with barbecue. So I understand Jeep Talk Show, Bucky's Barbecue. You say that isn't horrible, and you're a native Texan. I understand, but I disagree.
It's good gas station food. I'll take it over some, like, something else sketchy, you know?
That
I
that's
can I
true.
can level with that, right? For
That,
sure. But I feel like we need to, like, set up, like, a off-road brisket tour of Texas, like, or
dude,
something fun.
dude, I thought about like I've never been to Wolf Caves, and I want to go to Wolf Caves, and if I
Come
do,
on!
do that, then I definitely like, well, I've got friends that live in Austin, and I want to go visit them. I want to go like through Dallas or whatever and be an urban cowboy for a day. But then I want to go down. I just want to do like some Wolf Caves wheeling and have some really good times with friends out there. I think that that would be an amazing trip, like kind of combining all of that. But that might be upcoming for, like, a 2025 thing, like, to be real, like, my wife and I wanna try to go to Scotland this year, and it's like an
Ooh.
international trip, we haven't been international in a couple of years, so, well, I have for work, but not for fun. But, when it comes to wheeling, like, I've got Denver. I'm gonna go to Denver in July. Gonna go to try to do Holy Cross.
Okay.
It's the Babs Trail, G Badge of Honor that in Colorado that I haven't gotten yet. But pretty much I'm gonna be sticking around here. But anyway, enough about me. What do you what's up for you? Like the next thing you talk about the rubs, you talk about kind of the adult version of some of your things coming out. The hot chocolate, the Christmas deals. What's
Oh
up?
my goodness. Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's pure chaos for sure. So we launched our holiday blends for the coffee yesterday, the day before. So those are brand new. Those are out. And then, like I said, the cutoff. And then, of course, we have our free year of coffee giveaway. That's going on all the way through Christmas, which is super exciting. Every dollar spent on the site goes for an entry to win a free year of coffee. So we're running that all the way through the 24th because we'll do the drawing on Christmas
Oh
for that. So
wow.
somebody's getting free coffee for a year. Or if you don't like coffee, you can do tea or whatever, the
Right,
equivalent.
right.
I'm not that way. But so you'll get a free year. And then actually on the 12th, we start our 12 days of giveaways. So Christmas cutoff's the 10th. Like if you need Christmas presents and stuff, anything after that, you pray or you order for yourself. And then on the 12th, we start our 12 days of giveaway. So every day leading up to Christmas, we're doing a giveaway for something, right? It could be a t-shirt, it might be a free bag of coffee, it might be one of our coffee
Nice.
soaps, tea, whatever. Yeah, and so all of the entries for the free year of coffee also get in on the 12 days of giveaways. So
That's
that's
super cool.
December.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
December.
that's
Yeah,
December.
that's
And I'll tell you, I haven't told anybody yet, but I'll tell you.
well, you and
Um,
10 people, 9
Well,
people.
okay, you guys, shh, keep a secret. No, so people have asked if we have an ambassador program, and I have said no, and I have said no, and I have said no, and finally I'm giving up. And so,
Okay.
after this weekend, I'll be putting our ambassador program. It's roughly put together, but we'll make it presentable. And so hopefully next time in like next week or maybe the week after, we will also be launching our ambassador program for poor. So that's what's in the works
Okay, that's
through the end of the
cool.
year.
Yeah, that's super cool. And I mean, I will definitely be involved if you'll let me. Like I will do some barbecue recipes and things like that with some of
Yes.
your products and just kind of like just mess around with with your products as an ingredient. Like it's so much fun for me to experiment with things, uh, whether they're on their own, like products like, yes, I'm going to taste this, or yes, this would be good with apple cider vinegar, or yes, this would be good with this, or whatever else, on bacon or pork belly, or just brisket or whatever. So stop talking, guys in the comments. Stop talking about Bucky's brisket. You're missing out. Just go on a road trip to Texas, please. Like, go have some real barbecue for half a second. Anyway,
Yes, it's Heather.
yeah, yeah,
I'm Heather. Hello.
yeah. Is that Heather you're interviewing? Yes, I am. Yes. But having said that, like, what's next for trips for you or wheeling for you? What can like, are you is any of that on the horizon for you?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So I told you the honey's an overlander. So we
Mhm.
actually together, like between all of us, we're a family of 8. Um,
Jeez.
so it's he and I, 4 kids, 2 dogs. And
Woof.
so yeah, we're
Woof.
crazy.
Yeah, woof.
And we are all going overlanding in the Ozarks the day after Christmas.
Oh, that's
Um,
rad. Okay.
it's gonna be cool. Kids age range go, 13, 11, 9, and 5. So we've got the span, the two of us. So we actually just bought a Patriot off-road trailer, which has
Nice.
got all the things that we talked
Yeah,
about. It's
all of the conveniences of overlanding, absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely, exactly. But we got it so we could put a four-person tent on it for the
Mhm.
kids, and then we'll drive. We actually, the honey just traded his golf. He had like a sports golf and
Oh,
traded
yeah.
that for a forerunner that he built and sold to a friend in the past. So he's actually driving it home right now. We
Nice.
boxed it, yeah. So the intention is the forerunner is the only one we could logistically put like 3 seats in to fit all
Sure.
of us.
Yeah.
Because he's got a 4-door, I have a 2-door, and neither one of those really accommodate a 3rd seat. And
Yeah.
so we're trying to find a way to not drive 2 vehicles, right? Because
Sure.
we yeah, we could have taken like the Jeep, both Jeeps, I guess, right? And had one set up with a tent and
Double
one
your
person.
cost. Doesn't really make sense.
Right, yeah, no big
Yeah.
thing or anything. And so instead, now we've got the Forerunner, which will be cool because it's got enough rows. It's got a rooftop tent. So we'll have a rooftop tent, the kids will have a rooftop tent, and we'll have the trailer. So that's going to be our first. Well, we're going to do a shakedown trip. So I lied. So next weekend, we'll do a shakedown with the trailer and the kids and make sure everyone
Yeah.
can
Can
survive.
get along. Can get along.
And
We'll see
yeah,
who makes
and
it back
then
from this weekend, and then after that, you'll move on.
right.
That's
So if
just
you guys don't see or hear from me, you know what happened.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for
Exactly.
sure. So
Well, dude, I'm like super, super excited to see where Poor Off Road goes. I know it's been growing. The personal page is growing as well. For
mm,
all of that sassiness and all the other kind of stuff that people know you for, and then the comments like leading up to this, like in this short little promo time that we did this, like you've got a lot of support, a lot of people that are coming back from you or got your back moving forward in the business and everything. I really super appreciate your time and
mm.
not for nothing. Thank you for your service. And I
Thank
mean, yeah, tell people what they want to know or what you want them to know moving forward, and then yeah, we'll take care of the dogs.
Yeah, I can hear them. I hear mine. I don't know about yours, but no, definitely. I really appreciate you letting me have my YouTube debut. This was super, super fun. More than anything, I'm just looking to connect with everybody. So find me on Instagram or Facebook or even on TikTok, DVSob across everything for my personal and Pour Off Road Coffee on the business side of things. And like I said kind of in the beginning, the mission is just to connect everybody and
Sure,
build an awesome off-road community and have some fun and sip on some good stuff in the process. We can make a difference along the way. We donate with every single bag, which is very important to me.
oh
So we donate.
awesome,
Yeah, we donate to Tread Lightly. Every single bag, a portion goes to them, and it goes back to I want to preserve our way of life, off-road
yeah,
lifestyle. I want to preserve it for me, for my kids, for the next veteran or person that needs that experience. I want it to be there for them because I think we're really privileged to have this community, and it's really helpful for people. So that's kind of my mission and
sure.
goal. So I'm just looking for people to link arms with me,
that
in
that's
in
that's
any
that's
capacity.
absolutely super rad. And thank you so much for your time. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, guys, in the chat. And I'm sorry if you like Bucky's barbecue, but as always, I hope you're living life adventurously. And until next time, I will see you on the trail. All right, bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.
If I can figure out how to turn this off, there we go. All right, see you guys. Bye.